Hey guys, welcome back to the part 2 of the Fmge series in this channel. In this video, I'll talk about how to prepare for Fmge exam in 6 months. If you haven't already watched the part 1 of this Fmge series, then I highly recommend you guys to go back and watch the part 1 of the Fmge series to know the reason of why I'm making this video. So before we begin, in order for you to fully understand this video, I'm gonna say the key points in the beginning. So the key points is that you need to have at least 2 minimum revisions in the last 2 months out of the 6 months preparation for Fmge exam, and in the last month of the exam you need to have again 2 revisions, meaning that you need to have at least 3 or more revisions. Only then this exam is going to be really easy for you. So I will explain this in more detail in the upcoming slides. For example, if the Fmge exam in 2020 is going to be in September, then you must have already completed studying all these subjects and taking notes by May end, and you should have started your revision by June end. So it's not too late even if you are still studying for the first time. So the first part of this tabular column is for the ones that have already studied and have taken notes of all the subjects for the first time. So if you are that kind of person, then you should start your revision now. You need to do at least 2 revisions before the last 1 month of the exam, because like even if you're studying these subjects for the second time, you'll feel like you're studying it for the first time. So the reason why I'm saying that you need to have 2 revisions before the last month is that during your second time you will feel like you're studying it for the first time again, and during your third time only you will get to know the concepts a little bit clear. So that will help you guys to get a better grip of the topics that is involved in the exam. And in the last month is actually when your real revision starts. So for example, if you're someone that hasn't started yet to prepare, then you're aiming for December 2020 exam, then by now you should have already started taking notes for the first time of all the subjects, and you must have finished your preparation of taking notes of all the subjects by this year's September, and your revision starts at October. If you plan according to the schedule, then it is going to be very easy for you guys to follow the method that I did. So this is the most common question that most of my friends ask me. What are the subjects should I focus on, and what should I read, and what can I omit? So from my knowledge, I have simplified the weightage of the Fmge exam in this way. That is, you must read all the short subjects, that is the 7 subjects including forensic medicine, because these are really easy subjects. For example, if you're taking anesthesia, it's like 5 marks, and till radiotherapy it's like 5 marks. All of these subjects is very important, these 6 subjects, because these are easy scoring subjects. And if you're reading these subjects for the first time, it is going to take you a maximum of 5 to 6 days only for the first time. And for forensic medicine, it is a little bit bigger than the other subjects. So it is going to take you again a maximum of 10 days. In these days, you can complete all the subjects for once, and if possible you can even revise it once. And without reading these subjects, please do not go to the exam. As I said, this is an easy scoring subject, so you can easily get those 40 marks. So the next we have clinical subjects. So these 4 clinical subjects include 60 marks on total. Of these, I highly recommend you guys to study definitely OBGY and PSM, which is also known as community medicine, because these 2 will be hard for the first time, but after reading it for the first time you're going to feel it extremely easy, and in the exam these 2 subjects will score you a lot of marks, because sometimes they ask for 30 and sometimes they ask for more than 30. So it is going to be extremely helpful for you guys. So without studying these 2, again, do not enter the exam at all, and make sure to read it as much as possible in order to understand the concepts of it. That way, next time if you read it, you feel like you're not reading it for the first time, and you will feel like you're actually having some interest in the subjects rather than just mug-upping it. And next we have the medicine subjects and general surgery subjects. Of these 2 subjects, this is what I usually recommend to my friends. So few of my friends have passed the exam in December of 2019, and I told them the same trick and it actually worked. So if you're short of time and if you're not having like the energy and patience to read everything, I suggest you to just leave medicine. You don't really have to read medicine, but surgery is actually important, because the part 2 of the exam, which is going to be like case based mostly, you're going to get a lot of surgery subjects. So I highly recommend you to study surgery as much as possible. And one more thing is that even if you cannot study everything, make sure that you are thorough with whatever you study instead of choosing like new resources. Because the thing is that no matter what, in all other materials like DMA app and missed notes and some other coaching notes, everything, the basic is going to be same. So instead of taking and reading like two big notes or notes that is like PG level, try to read the FMG level notes and make sure that you're thorough in it. So that's it for the clinical subjects. Next we have the moderatively easy subjects. The reason I call this moderatively easy is because after reading these 3 subjects for 2 times, you will actually feel it quite easy, and it is also an easy scoring subjects. So in these 3 subjects, I recommend you to study ENT and ophthalmology, because these will have at least like 10 to 20 questions together. Even though they say like 15 each, you'll only have like 10 to 20 questions in together. And pediatrics, again, if you cannot read it, just don't study it, because in pediatrics the only important thing is that you will need to know the age, like during what period of time the child will do what. For example, during the child is born, it will have like certain reflexes, and during what time the child will be able to draw like a circle or square or rectangle. So only that is important. Rest everything, I don't think so you have to read it. The reason why I'm saying this is because I have already suggested you to study surgery as much as possible, right? So most of the questions from surgery and pediatrics is going to be similar, as in you'll have like double bubble sign and triple bubble sign, and all these basic things will be similar to that of pediatrics. So that's why I'm saying, if you don't have time, just leave pediatrics and medicine, instead focus on surgery. The next is the pre and paraclinical subjects, and many people including myself hate these subjects. The reason because it's not clinical, and it is all just concepts that you have to remember, and concepts that you have to kind of mug up. So one of the main thing that I want to say is that please do not start by studying anatomy. The reason is that anatomy is such a boring subject. I mean, most of us, including myself, I feel like that is really boring. So if you're going to start your FMG preparation by taking anatomy, then you will forever be in the same anatomy subjects instead of going to another topics. So if you're someone that is like, you have a little bit of knowledge but your basics is not thorough, you can directly go to the clinical subjects like surgery or PSM or pathology, because if you take anatomy, it's going to take a long time and you will never progress. And one more wrong concept that most of the medical students think is that if you don't know the basics, you cannot study the clinical subjects. That is just not true, because in your 6 years of medical school, you should have at least known some things from clinical. So I would say just skip everything and go for the short subjects first. The reason that I say this is because once if you start studying the small subjects, you will actually complete it in like 5 or 6 days or maximum 10 days. And once you complete a single subject, you will feel like you have achieved something, and that will give you the motivation to study the next subject. Whereas if you take anatomy and physiology, the subjects are very vague and very boring, and it will actually demotivate you because you would not have completed much, and it is going to be hard for you. So my tip for these 6 subjects is that you can actually completely eliminate microbiology if you are studying surgery. But you have to make sure that you have studied the other subjects that I have said, because I personally do not like microbiology, and I think that you have to remember a lot of names, right? So if you're someone that you feel like remembering all those names is very hard, or like revising microbiology is going to take so much time, then just leave that subject. Just read the FMG solutions for that subject, and you can focus on rest everything. So as I said, anatomy is a subject that no matter how much you study, you're going to forget it. So revision is the key. And physiology, again, it's a vague subject, so you have to be like at least know the basic concepts even if you don't know everything, okay? But pathology, if you study for like 2 or 3 times, you're going to find it extremely easy. So I would suggest definitely study that pathology, because that is one of the subjects from preclinical area that you'll have like more marks. So try to study that. And as for pharmacology and biochemistry, it is hard, but you have no other option. So try to go through at least the most commonly asked questions. Okay, try to combine physio and patho together. That way you'll know, like it will be interesting for you to study and finish it off together. So these are the final tips that I have. So once you understood that, the next question that most people ask is that what all books do I need to buy for MCI? Guys, please do not buy anything like neurosurgery books and medicine books and surgery books. You don't really need any of that. Just buy the coaching notes like Prep Ladder or missed coaching notes from your friends, and then combine it with FMG solutions, because that is an MCQ book, so it will be easy for you to solve that. And then try to find any last minute notes like AK Sepia or Kamal KV, or missed one-liners as well. So you can also visit the ukimg.com. I have uploaded some missed one-liners in that website, so you can download it for free and then use it for test yourself after you have completed the subject, so it will be easy for you. So next I have given some of the free apps that is available to take free marks. Of these apps, I would say that like if you don't want to, then don't take the DMA app, because most of the questions in the DMA app is going to be like very hard. So if you're going to get, so mostly you will only be able to get 10 out of 30 questions correct. So if you're getting like that, you should not lose hope, because the way that app is made is that most of the questions in there are very hard. The next you can take is the Prep Ladder app. Prep Ladder usually give like free mocks for everyone 25 or 30 days before the exam. The next app is the Arise Medical app. I would suggest please download this app, because there is so many free questions in there, which is like FMG level sort of questions. So try to download that app and solve everything. And the next app is the Pre-PG app. This app is good because you can see how many days is left for the exam, and you can also take subject-wise mocks. By taking this, you will see that most of the questions inside the app is like PG level or DNB exam level. And as you know, the FMG questions are usually similar to DNB questions. Try to solve all the DNB questions in the Pre-PG app, and so you will be prepared for the FMG new questions that they ask in the exam. And my next tip is that try to attempt as many MCQs and as many mocks as possible. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you for listening to this part 2 episode of FMGE series. And don't forget to subscribe and comment below, because I have some really good tips on how to increase your productivity coming soon in this channel. And make sure to check the ukimg.com. One of the page in that website has free one-liners of missed, as well as blueprint of FMG exam and other study materials as well. And if you wish, you can also like the UKIMG Facebook page, so that you will know if I have made any new videos in this channel. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. Take care.